everyone. Today I'm in the mood to play around with a new dice set that I got and make some cards, and I thought you might like to hang out with me. So come on over to the craft table and let's get started. So here is everything I'm going to be using on the first card, and I hope you don't mind, but to save time I've already done the die cutting and the coloring, but I'm going to tell you everything that I've used. And starting off with the die set that I've been so eager to use. It's the Polygon Lace Ornament die set, and I just think it's gorgeous and couldn't wait to use it. And I've also used some stickles right here, some beautiful red stickles. And I used this Love Bears stamp set. It is just adorable, and it also comes with those hearts and some fall leaves over on the side, so it can be used for different times of the year. And let's see, what else did I use? Well, to color, I used my Ohuhu colored pencils. I absolutely love them. And also for the coloring, I used this. It is called a colorless colored pencil blender, and it is from Sherry Baldy. And so I used that, which looks like this, along with one of these little pencil-like things, and just did the blending. So this is the image. I stamped it out, and then I fussy cut it, and that's where I use the stickles, and of course the colored pencils is what I use to color the bears. And let's see, what else did I use? Hold on a second here. This is from Cricut, and it is their glitter cardstock sampler. And it has all kinds of beautiful colors in there, and of course I used the red. And I think that kind of takes you through everything that I have done here. I'll show you beautiful, look at that shimmer and glimmer. Oh, I love that cardstock from Cricut, and I love this die cut. Look at that. Isn't it just gorgeous? It does a beautiful job. And I cut it out of this piece, as you can tell, but I'm not letting anything go to waste. We're actually going to be using this. So one of my tricks from a tips and tricks video a while back is that, watch this, you can cover it up and no one is going to know that that's what the other side looks like, and so you didn't waste anything. I love it. Okay, so I've got all of these pieces here. Let me move the dies out of the way because we don't need those anymore because we've already used them. We've already used the stamp set right there. So I'm going to move that out of the way. I've already used the stickles because of course I had to wait for it to dry, and I didn't want to make you wait on camera because it could take hours and hours and hours. So here's my card base, and it is 5.5 by 5.5 inches square. So this is what we're going to start with, and the first layer that's going to go on there is that one. And to put that on, I'm going to use my Beacon 3-in-1 glue, as I always do, because I love, love, love this stuff. So let me turn this over, and we'll put some glue on here. So while I'm doing this, what are you all doing today? You know, besides watching me make cards, which I'm hoping to be inspiring you. But let me know down in the comments what you guys are up to. I know that, you know, during these times, we're kind of all stuck at home. And I think it's a good time to get some crafting done, at least for me. But you guys may be doing something else, you know, rearranging the house, doing things with the kids. You know, maybe you have some special events going on at home to keep the kids, you know, entertained. So I really do want to know what you guys are up to. Okay, so I've got that piece on there, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to adhere this to the front of this piece of cardstock before I set it on there. And I'll be honest with you, the reason I'm going to do that is if I make a mistake, I don't want to waste the entire card, just kind of what I have in my hand, but I'm hoping I don't make a mistake. So the smart thing would have been to put adhesive on the back of this before cutting it out, and that way everything, you know, all the little tiny pieces would adhere. But you know what? If you're working with little delicate pieces like this and you don't already have adhesive on the back, I like to use a spray adhesive because it gives full coverage. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm not only going to spray it, but I'm going to put wet glue right in here. And that way I feel like I can slide it a little bit better into place and then adhere it. So I'm going to go do that off camera because I can't spray right here on camera. It'll just get on my laptop and it'll get on my camera. So we're not going to go do that. I actually have a box that I go spray in. So I'm going to go spray this and put this on here, and I'll be right back. Okay, that was nerve-wracking trying to get that centered, I'm not going to lie to you. And it's probably not even exactly perfectly centered, but you know what? Close enough. Look at that glitter. Oh, I love this stuff. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is we are going to adhere that right onto there. And it really doesn't matter which direction this card is going. I think the card will stand up like that. Anyways, it really doesn't matter because it's square. And until we actually put on the image, it'll be just fine. So, get some glue on here. And let's see, we'll just center it right on there. And look at that, it covers up everything that's underneath. You would never know that it's not completely covered underneath. Isn't that like a cool trick? It's a great way to not waste anything. You know what else is a cool trick? Is this beacon, because I know, not an advertisement, but I love this stuff because it stays wet long enough for me to just kind of wiggle things into place if I don't lay it down exactly right. Okay. Okay, so now that's done. And I have this little piece. Oh, there was something really cool I wanted to show you about this. Hold on a second. It doesn't show up on the glitter, but I have this other piece that I've actually cut in half because I've been messing with it. But I wanted you to see, look at that. It does stitching around the edge. It doesn't show up on the glitter cardstock at all, but if you're using regular cardstock, that stitching will show up, and it's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I cut it in half. I was messing with it. Okay, so anyways, where was I? I know where I was. I was right here. So this is from the other die in the set. And I have something right there. Interesting. Okay, anyways, we're going to take this and we're going to put it right there. Just like that. Get up to the light so you could see it. Or up to the camera in the light. Okay, so again, just going to take a little beacon here. Put it around. And we are going to put it right on there. Another good thing about beacon is it does stick to this glitter really well. And that glitter doesn't come off, by the way. You've seen me rubbing it, and it doesn't come off. So really awesome glitter paper, because I've had some before where it just gets everywhere. So I will definitely put a link below in the description box. I will find a link to this Cricut glitter paper. I've had it for a long time, so I'm hoping they still sell it because I've had it, gosh, for a couple of years now. All right, so now I need to know for sure which way the card is going, and this is it. So now we have the cute little bears, and I've decided that I want to pop them up on there. Before I do that, I was going to show you. I kept the little hearts. Yes, this is the girl who doesn't waste anything. These little hearts are what popped out of the, this is just some of them. Aren't they gorgeous? They're what popped out of here. I was thinking about possibly doing something like this. But I'm not sure if that would be overkill. You know what I mean? You know, too much on there. I'm really not sure. I'm going to have to think about it for a minute. I wish I could hear you guys because I know you're, giving me your opinions, and, Sometimes I can hear you guys yelling at me, telling me what to do, and then sometimes I just don't know. But I don't know, what do you think? Whether I do this or not, I still want you to tell me what you think. So you can tell me down in the comments, yes, the hearts, no, the hearts, you know, whatever. But for the moment, I'm going to take them off, and we are going to put the bear on. And in order to do that, I'm going to be using some foam tape right here. And I should grab a pair of scissors, just stretching across here. Okay, so let me turn the bears over. Oh, look at that. Talk about not wasting. Actually, this was an accident. I had this printed out for something else, didn't realize it was on the back, and ended up stamping and coloring. Well, I'm pretty sure that has happened to all of you at some point, you know? But the cool thing is, as a crafter, we know how to hide things. We're pretty good at that. And so no one is ever going to see that on the back here. Let me see, did I cut that too tall? And not if I move it over a little bit, I think it'll fit. So always remember that no one's going to see what's on the back. I've done that before, like if I stamp a sentiment wrong, you're actually going to see that later in the video. And, ooh, that one might be too long. And you just flip it over and do it again, you know? So, I mean, that's kind of the fun thing about crafting and, you know, making cards. There's always a way to hide your mistakes. Always a way to hide your mistakes. In fact, sometimes you just pretend like the mistake was supposed to be there and that it wasn't a mistake at all. I've done that before. I don't know about you, but, you know, just something I used to say a lot is, you know, the imperfections are what make it perfect. Okay, let me get this a little bit closer to me so I can see exactly what I'm doing. Making sure I have that where I want it. Maybe, maybe not. I'm trying to center it with this spot right here. You know, getting the heart and their feet and everything centered right there. And getting it, no. Getting it centered. You know, if I get it centered with that thing and that thing both. Well, you know what? What if we just say close enough? You know, because that's what I'm going to say right now. Close enough. I could take all day doing this. Okay. Is that adorable or what? I know this seems really fancy to have these little bears on here, but I love bears. You know, it's not Valentine's Day, but I'll probably save this till next Valentine's Day. I mean, you know, a lot of us make Christmas cards all year round, so there's no reason you can't make Valentine's early, right? Okay, so now it comes down to the hearts are not the hearts, and I think I'm going to do the hearts, but I'm going to need something because I don't want to use my glue, so hold on a second while I decide what I'm going to use for an adhesive on the back of those. Okay, I was torn between my little Xyron and my Zig two-way glue. The Zig won out here. That's what I want to use. So I brought over a piece of scrap paper here so that I don't make a mess. And just bring the little hearts over and turn them upside down. There we go. All right. And yep, I decided I wanted to add the hearts. I hope you all agree with me. If you don't, well, it was a tough decision. It was just a tough decision. What can I say? But anyways, what do you guys think of this die set? You know, I'm asking you a lot of questions. I don't do live videos because well, first of all, most people don't show up until after it's not live anymore. And the other reason is because
I really can't, you know, I'm a multitasker, but I can't craft and look at the computer screen at the same time. So I wouldn't even know if you were saying something to me, which, you know, isn't fair. Uh-oh. But, you know, the cool thing about the comment section below is that you guys can say all kinds of stuff. You can answer all of my questions. You can give me your opinions. It's kind of nice. Then I get to go read them because if you're a regular viewer of mine, you know that I always answer the comments. Always, always reply to the comments. I love communicating with you guys. So, let me go. Let me get this last one on here. See how that looks. You know what? I actually kind of like it. So, here we go. Let's take a look. Let me move that. And here is the first card. Isn't that just beautiful? I just think those bears are cute. I love bears. I'm kind of tempted to put a bow on the hair of one of them, so it's a boy and a girl, but anyways, card 1. Are you ready to get on to card 2? Okay, let's get going. Okay, here's all the goodies for the second card, and again, I've done all the die cutting already, and I used the same set that I used for the other one, but I am going to show you some pretty corners that I cut out with this that I'll be using on something else altogether, but I just wanted to make sure that I show you that. So I'll do that here in a minute. So let's see. What I have used is some paper from this Bo Bunny set that my niece picked up for me at Tuesday morning, gosh, last year probably. And I haven't got around to using it yet. And you probably can't find it anywhere, but it's got some really cool stuff in it. And so let's see, what else did I use? Oh, okay. I used this piece of cardstock. It's actually more like a thick paper. It's shimmery and it is actually called paper. It is Cricut's Pearl Paper Sampler, and this comes with a bunch of pretty sheets in it, a lot of different colors. I don't know, let me see if I can open it up here really quick for you. I don't know if this is how it came or if it had another packaging that it came out of, because I've had this for a long time. But let me see if I can get this over here without pulling it all out of the package, just so you can see there's a variety of colors in here. Some yellows and greens and blues and silvers. Anyways, I'll put a link below to that as long as Cricut still sells it, because just like the other stuff that I had, you know, it's been a while. So pretty much what I'm showing you today, most of what I'm using, I've had for a while. It's just out of my stash. And so really the only thing new was that die set that I'm using and the stamp that I showed you. Everything else is just out of my stash. And who knows how old it is. So let's see here. I'm going to move some of this stuff kind of out of the way and show you, look at this. I've cut something out of it, and yet I'm going to be using it on the front of the card. And this is what I cut out of it. I told you I was going to show you. Look at those. Aren't they beautiful? They're so delicate and just beautiful. I love that die set so much. And let me show you something else that has nothing to do with the card. I'm going to bring all of these pieces over here. So isn't this beautiful? And it's on that same shimmery paper that I'm using on the card. You ready to see the back? Oh, look at that. Again, I'm not letting anything go to waste. So what was cut out of there was this, which I have cut it, well, not exactly in half, but I've cut off a piece, and somewhere else, oh wait, here it is another piece of it. But I didn't want that to go to waste, so I took a piece of paper out of that paper pack and glued that on there. And I'm thinking I'll probably use it later, maybe for a card, maybe in a mini album. But I could put these beautiful corners on there. I mean, just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So, again, don't let anything go to waste, because I don't. And I just encourage you, you know, don't waste your paper. Cut something out of it on one side and then cover it up on the other side. And I did the same thing with this one because I had to cut out 2 more of those. I wanted 4, so I've cut out 2 here and I cut out 2 out of this piece. And by the way, I only used a half a sheet. This is a 12 by 12. I only used half of it. Actually, not even half, actually, because I think I only cut this to be like, 4 or 5 inches. So I have a whole lot left over, but I took another piece that was left over from this and glued that on the front. No one's going to see it. Maybe use it, like I said, in a scrapbook or a mini album, or use it for a bookmark. Well, I'd have to put something on the other side. But look at that. Put that piece on there. Wouldn't that be beautiful for something? Okay, so we should get back to the card making. Definitely get back to the card making. I am going to go ahead and glue this on here. And this one I'm going to have cover the whole thing instead of having a little edge showing. I'm actually going to cover the entire front of the card. So let's grab my beacons. And it doesn't matter really which side because both sides, ooh, my glue got all gunky. Look at it, just peels off though. I love beacon. Okay, let me set that aside. Little ball of glue there. And we're going to put some glue on here. All around the edges. A little across the middle there. Maybe a little here and there. And this is going to be ready to go on the front of the card. And like I said with beacon, I can slide it around because if I would have just put it down there, I would have not got it all the way to the edges. It just would not have happened because I'm not that coordinated. And actually, there's a piece of card right down here. How weird is that? I have to get rid of that. Okay, anyways, there we go. So we have this on the front of the card. That's pretty as it is. Put a ribbon across there and a couple flowers and you'd already have a card made. But we're going to do more than that. But before I put this one on there, I'm going to be doing a few things to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it on right to the edge, just like that. And then I'm going to take this ribbon and I'm going to put it on there. And that's why I'm not putting this on yet, because I want to tuck the ribbon around behind the back of the card. So in order to put this on here, I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other one. I'm going to add some, of my beacon glue, and then I'm going to use spray adhesive, and then I'm going to line it up on there. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got it on there. Kind of want to bring it up there so you could see the stitched, edge around it. Isn't that pretty? I love stitching. I realize it's faux stitching, but I love it anyway. So the next thing I'm going to do now is add the ribbon. And in order to do that, I'm going to be using some double-sided tape. And I'm just going to take it and put it right along the edge. Kind of like so. And it really doesn't matter. You'll see here in a second and I'll show you it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, but you can't see it right now. Okay. It doesn't matter that I have a little bit that you really can't see of the shimmer showing, because it is actually going to be going along that edge. It'll just blend right in. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to fold that around to the back. I'm going to fold that around to the back. And we're going to peel that off. Like so. We're going to sit it down and hope it doesn't really stick. Here, I'm going to do it partially off for a minute. All right, I'm going to grab my ribbon. Okay, take my ribbon and just line it up with the edge, like so. And yeah, I know I went over quite a bit there. Unstick. So I'm going to trim part of that off and fold it over. Actually, hold on a second here. I'm going to trim this end off too, so that I can just turn it over and do them both at the same time, making sure that they don't, stick out the edge just like that one just did. Kind of keep it over there. And same thing there. Okay, now that that's done, yep, right way. Now we are ready to put it on just like that. Alrighty, let's do it. Got my beacon 3-in-1, and just gonna put a little glue on the ribbon too. A little glue there. So let's see, what else can I ask you? You know, you don't have to answer all of my questions. I'll ask you all kinds of questions today. You just answer the ones that you want to. So I guess my question now is, what is your favorite adhesive? Because mine is obviously my Beacon 3-in-1. And I think we all have favorites. Sometimes we have more than one favorite. I mean, I have more than one favorite, but Beacon is my go-to that I don't ever, ever, ever want to be without. So, in fact, I have one bottle left besides the one I'm using right now. And I ended up ordering me, gosh, I think 6 more bottles because I don't want to run out. So, what is the adhesive that you don't want to be without? Okay, now I have a cute little bow that I've already made with my bow it all, and I know I've had a few people say, can we see your bow it all? Can we see how it works? You know what? I'm going to have to do a video sometime for you guys because it would be a great video, I think. I don't know how easy it would be to show you, and there would be like 20 million things to show you, and you know, all the different size bows it can make and everything, but I use it especially for these little tiny things. So I'm going to stick that right there. See if I can get it to lay the way I want it to. It seems to have a mind of its own, as we all know things can do. Yep, I think that looks centered. What do you think? Does that look nice and centered? You know, this is a pretty simple card because actually we only have one other thing to do to it. Okay, maybe a couple of other things. We'll see. But probably only one, and I just got glue everywhere. But again, with Beacon, you just rub your fingers and it'll roll right off. And if it gets on things like this, you can either roll it right off or use a glue eraser. And if you don't know what one of those is, let me see if I can reach clear across the table. They look like this. This one has stuff on it that needs to come off. But anyways, everything is sticking to me. This is a glue eraser, and you know, you can just rub it where the glue was and it'll just rub it right off. Or you can just use your fingers if you're using Beacon, which I will have to get in there afterwards and get a little bit better at getting in there. Okay, anyway, so what is there to do next? Well, let me see. What do I have laying here? Oh, okay. There's the sentiment. And I had to be really careful because, wait a minute, on the other side, I got it off center. This is one of those times where I tell you, you just kind of turn it over. So I have to make sure I have it on the right side. And I just stamped it on there with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and used a clear embossing powder over the top just to give the writing a little bit of shine. So I'm going to pop this up right there. I'm going to use my, let me see if this is the right size. Will it fit underneath there? Maybe. I don't want it to be too big. Maybe I'll use those 2 pieces instead. I have these 2 little scrap pieces sitting on here from something else. Okay, so let me make sure. Okay, that's the good side. This is the not good side. So I'll put that right there. And where'd you go, little piece? Put that little piece right there. And we're going to pop this up on here. I was tempted to put some flowers on here. I actually had some flowers laying out that I was going to put on, and, you know, several other things. But then I don't know. I just decided that I wanted to go simple. Not overly simple, though, that I can't add a couple of little pearls. So let me see here. Grab a little pearl to stick on the end of this. I know you guys all have a really cool way of doing it. I've seen people do this like with a little knife type thing. And I do it the hard way. As you can tell, I do it the hard way. Close enough? Okay, close enough. What do you think of that? Okay, now I can finish this card later. So before I actually leave like this, what would you guys do to this card? If nothing else, answer that question for me. What else would you do to it? Do you think that flowers would be overkill because there's flowers all over it, you know? Would it be too busy? Should I add some pearls up here in this corner? Because I have some, you know, even other sizes. I could, you know, add a few pearls up here in the corner. Would you add some pearls over here possibly? I really want to know what you would do to this card, or would you leave it just the way it is? Okay, so let's see. What have we done today? We have done that card and that card, and we have looked at some really pretty pieces here that are tangled together. There we go. That can be used for something later, because I really do think I'm going to put that on there. And even maybe just add it to the side of a card. I think this has possibilities personally. So there's some scraps. And here's these pretty things that I cut out. Because like I said, I wanted to try out the die set, even if I didn't use all the pieces, you know, I had to cut them out just to try it out. And don't waste anything. I think we've had a good day. What do you think? Did you like that die set? I love it. There'll be a link below in the description box to the die set. Tangled together. Okay. Anyways, there'll be a link below to the die set, to the cute little bear stamps, and to all of the Cricut papers that I use, the glitter paper and the shimmer papers and stuff. All of that will be below in the description box in case you're interested in any of it. I can't even talk straight. But you know what? I think this is enough for one day. I had fun, and that's really what I wanted to do, and I hope you had fun too.
Thank you all for hanging out with me today, and I hope this has inspired you to make some cards. And if you're interested in any of the products that I used today, I will have links below in the description box. Just click where it says show more and it'll drop down. And you will also find a discount code to InLoveArts in case you decide you want to shop there. It'll save you 20%. And a link to Crafter's Castle Challenge where you can enter your creations. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.